Back with another episode of Pottawattamie County Routes. I am Todd Studer, and this is my friend Amy Dillard, who I haven't had a chance to talk to with a microphone in front of her for a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a couple of years, I think, because I think the last time was at Elisa's Good Neighbor Day.
Yes.
And you came over and talked as everyone was picking up their flowers that September.
Yep, that was the last time probably.
It's been that's too long.
It
We
has
should talk
been
more
too
often.
long. And
What have you
before
been up to? Where are you? What's going on in the world of Amy Dillard right now?
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, Todd. As you know, I am an entrepreneur, and I have a company called Dillard Management. When I started Dillard Management, as you also know, I started out with social media, helping small businesses. I expanded that into more marketing services, acquired, hosting, website creation, local SEO, and really wanted to expand that. But I've kind of stepped back and made some different decisions right now.
So was this just because something new presented itself? Was it, hey, I'm not being fulfilled by what I was doing? What was the thought process when you started thinking about making a switch?
Well, I still service some of my smaller clients, nonprofits that need some help, fill in some gaps, which is great with social media. But I think that what really kind of turned the tide was thinking about who I was as a person and, like you said, what really fulfilled me. I definitely have a service heart, and creating a large marketing agency probably wasn't going to fulfill that.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I had to think about, how I got there and what I really enjoyed. And the part that I really enjoy about the multiple things that I do, because you know that I just didn't do Dillard Management and social media. I'm also an instructor and a trainer. And I thought long and hard about that and what direction I wanted to go into. And what really, I think, fulfills me is the education and training portion that I enjoy so much. At my core, I think I'm a problem solver, but I feel like I'm my best at being facilitator to helping people find tools and resources to help them. So I created a new initiative, I guess you would say, some new offerings for small businesses, small local businesses, called Lean for Real Work.
Lean for Real Work. All right. You're going to have to tell me what this is.
Sure. So have you heard of lean or lean manufacturing?
Yes.
Okay. So these are tools and principles that you use to make your manufacturing process more efficient. You identify waste and eliminate them. You value map your processes and your systems. If you think about a production line back in the early 1900s with Henry Ford, that's kind of creating a smooth process and system. And then in the 80s or 90s, lean really became a prominence because of the Toyota systems over in Japan. They believed that even a fraction of a second off of the production line was worth it. So they developed these principles of eliminating waste, and we can go through some of those, what waste might be. So waste is reworking things, having too much inventory, maybe wait time. So have you ever sent something to someone and you're just waiting for them to sign it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the process gets stuck? Yeah, so it's not just about manufacturing. It's about bringing those lean principles into your everyday workflow. And I think through, the conversations with the people that we know, business owners, entrepreneurs locally, they just don't have a lot of time and resources to invest in maybe training their employees a certain way or getting everybody on the same page about what the big idea is, right? Everybody's concerned about their piece. So it's a process of where you can de-silo things a little bit, but also identify the waste, make processes smoother. But I wanted to give it in more bite-sized chunks because they need to get back to the real work that they enjoy, right? Or how they're serving the community. So we want to make sure that it's an efficient process in the training, in the lean training, that works and can be malleable to what a business needs or what the issues that are arising right now with them. So if you think about it, we've got, let's say, business owners that maybe want to transition out of some of the day-to-day. Maybe they're thinking about retirement. Maybe they're wearing too many hats. Maybe they just feel like there's a kink and they can't figure out how to smooth it out. Those would be people that I could help, that maybe that we could go in and that we can kind of analyze the situation, but then we bring in the lean tools and the lean trainings and map out the process and bring the whole team together so everybody knows what someone else does. Maybe cross-training is important. Maybe documentation of the process is important for onboarding new people. We also identify decision points, and that's a big thing during processes that throw a kink in the chain. Is the person that's getting the decision point in the process capable of making the decision, or does it have to go up the chain? Would they be able to make that decision if you weren't there? Why and why not? I mean, I could go on forever about it, Todd.
Well, and here's finding the right care for a loved one can feel overwhelming. Assisted Living Locators is here to help. Jean Bonker brings more than 30 years of experience serving families and has personally navigated the challenges of elder care. She understands the questions, the emotions, and the weight of these decisions. Jean becomes your advocate, guiding you through options with clarity, compassion, and personal support every step of the way. Call Assisted Living Locators at 402-690-5467 and move forward with confidence. Are you in the market for stylish, locally curated fashion that's close to home? Visit Unique Boutique Iowa in Neola at 101 4th Street, your destination for trendy clothing, accessories, and distinctive gifts. Open on the weekends, Saturdays 10 to 2, Sundays 11 to 3. You can always shop online at shopubiowa.com. This is what I've noticed just in the short amount of time that you've been sitting in that chair right now. Now, I've known you for several years, and you have helped me in different areas of different renditions of business that I have been working on. But this is a new level of passion coming out of you right now.
Sure.
That I haven't seen to this level before.
And I think that was the piece that was missing before, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I decided to make that pivot, because it has to be someone, if I don't believe in it, then why should anyone else?
Yeah. But also, as an entrepreneur, and I think that you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth where that is concerned, because if you have a true entrepreneur spirit, you don't have an interest in working for somebody else.
Right.
That's just not in your area that is something that you want for your life. But
I do enjoy autonomy, that's for sure.
Yeah. Not just that, but also it is, that sink or swim is 100% up to you.
Yeah.
And there's a freedom in that, and there's a power in that. And that's why I like being around entrepreneurs, because I can feed off of that myself. And I can say, wait, okay, I'm not wired strangely.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, though, that the passion that you have and you're showing right now, did it come as you were learning more about this? Because you've studied it.
Sure.
I can see that you've studied it. So which came first is what I'm wondering.
Well, I've always had a desire, I guess the teaching aspect or the training aspect has always been there. It's something that I've done in my education career before this, right? Before I became an entrepreneur. The passion for lean and helping people with systems and processes, one, I think I'm wired that way a little bit, right? Like I think about things in sequential order and how does someone know to do this? Where does this process start, and how do we make it smoother? But I've also Iowa Western does trainings for lean for other businesses, and they contacted me about when they started offering it, if I wanted to be trained in lean and be one of the facilitators of those trainings for them. And of course I accepted. Sounded like a great opportunity, something to learn more about, something that maybe I could use in my own business, which I do. And I still facilitate those and they still offer those. But I think it's just the interaction with the employees and the teams that I work with, and I see how things click, and I see all the good things that they do during the trainings and how well things work for them, that I was like, I need to start offering this at different levels so everybody can take advantage of this, right? And so recently, I just did, last month, I did a small training, a process mapping training, and I saw the team in the training get up and start just sketching out ideas for how to make the process more efficient, what the board was going to look like and how we were going to track it. And you're able to do those small improvements not just during the training, but afterwards. And then I get to follow up and see what cool things they've done. And I don't know, it makes me happy.
You get to go and look at a lot of different businesses and look at because everybody's not cut the same, and it's all not, the processes are going to be different depending on what the industry is.
Well, if you think about it, small businesses, like some of the people that we know and work with, they have to be very malleable because of the demand, right? You just said sink or swim. So sometimes they have to change things in a very quick way to accommodate the population they're serving, right? And so that might not always get tracked or documented, or somebody might not, come in later and be like, well, I thought we did it this way and we're doing it this way. So things are always changing, and that's another thing with lean is that, I think that was my phone. I'm sorry.
You're okay. Usually about once a week, and I make a joke about it. I remember when Brad Cruzy was here after he retired from Grease Monkey, and I did this. You can go back and watch the show and see that I did this. His phone went off, and he goes, "You can edit that out, can't you?" And I said, "Yes, I can, but I'm not going to."
I think I watched that show actually. So where was I about that?
You were talking about the different industries and
right,
that you
yes.
can go into.
And things change in businesses, and that's the best part about lean is that the principle of it is, one of the principles of it is continuous improvement. So we're going to revisit the things that we just mapped out a year ago maybe, and make sure that there isn't any changes that we need to account for, not just for training purposes or documentation purposes, but also because things might come up that we didn't know that this change was affecting down the line, right? And that's why we bring the teams together, and it helps not only just with systems, but it helps with the culture in the business as well. So if you feel like, if you have well-trained employees that are cross-trained, that knows what's going on in every step of the process that they're involved in, and have maybe some authority to make some decisions about maybe a yes or no decision, like which way does this go, which way does this go, you see them take ownership of their positions and their jobs more, and that makes them more fulfilled, and that makes serving your customer that much more easier.
Primrose Retirement Community in Council Bluffs believes home should be a place of comfort, connection, and care. From personalized support to engaging daily activities, everything they do is designed to help residents live fully and confidently. At Primrose, that's their priority, to put the quality of their residents' care and daily needs at the top of their list each day and every day. It's not just about where you live, it's about how you live. Learn more about life at Primrose by going to primroseretirement.com, and then contact Jamie Bush at Primrose and discover a place that truly puts people first. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or even if you're planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. With fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, they're the ones to call. Visit waldsteinplumbing.com. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about too is the fact that you made a change. You didn't, I don't think that you went from east to west. It wasn't a complete opposite change, but you did make a change. A lot of times, and especially younger entrepreneurs, and maybe they haven't been in the game that long, they can get tunnel vision into this is my original vision and I have to do this. I cannot pivot. I have to stay on this. And if they don't, it feels like failure.
Oh, sure.
But it's not. Because there was things that you didn't know until you were farther into your career on the path that you were on. Now you've got more information. Now, all of that stuff you were doing before is now moving into this. I bet that there's some of those tools and skills that you learned before that you're using now.
Oh, absolutely. Not just the tools and the knowledge that I've gained, but also the relationships. Seeing how some people were struggling or businesses had, may have an issue here and there, and being in those networks and hearing things from people, or working with a client and seeing how other things work in their business. I was like, oh, well, I can help and serve them in this way well, but I feel like I can do this even better, right? And it was scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Of course it is.
I was scared to come here today because I haven't, done my website yet to accommodate for my different offerings, or I haven't, the little things that you want to do to make everything all neat and tidy. I was like, but you know what? This is an opportunity, and why would I waste an opportunity to get a message out there about something that I'm doing actively?
I think maybe it could be the very first video short I ever did. This goes back a lot of years, and I was over at Valley View Park, over next to Mosquito Creek, and I was talking about if you wait for everything to be perfect before you do what you need to do to grow your business, you're never going to do it.
You're never going to do it.
Sometimes you have to do it messy.
You do.
And
You
that's
do.
just, and I don't see this as messy at all, but.
No, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for public facing things yet.
No, but at the same time, it's, as you said, we got an opportunity here to talk about it. You're on a journey.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch people on a journey. I get a kick out of it. And because I'm on my own,
Well,
and
that's
my own
the
journey.
same thing for me why I really wanted to get people's messages out there when I was doing social media marketing, is because I believed in the people I worked with so much, and it was exciting to get that message out. Yeah. It really is. But planning, sometimes, especially someone like me who Gallup strengths, those 5 strengths that you get when you do this.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. One of them is input for me. And that means that I like to research and plan a lot when I have an idea. And then you know what happens if you research and plan too much to an idea? They die.
Yeah.
They die. You have to take action as you go.
Right.
As you go, you need to take a little bit of action.
Yeah.
And this is one action that I'm taking today. So thanks, Todd.
Well, I'm trying to remember, how did that saying go, that a plan without movement is a wish?
It's a wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm paraphrasing. I probably butchered whoever said that initially. But when I first heard that, it hit me hard. Yeah. Because I'm great.
No, it's a goal without
a goal. You're right. A goal.
Yeah, without action is
without
a wish.
action is a wish. And I had plenty of goals. I had plenty of ideas. I had plenty of everything.
But then you wonder, which one do you focus on first?
Oh, that can be maddening too. Doesn't matter. As it turns out, it doesn't matter. You just have to start and follow the path and let it go. You're not gonna. You will eventually find your way. I'm still finding mine.
Of course.
And my hair's plenty gray now, and I'm still finding mine.
I'm getting a couple, so it's natural.
Well, I'm excited that you're on this next chapter, and you're already making movement and you're on your way with it, and it's fun to watch. And you're one of the folks in town that I always kind of pay attention to. Hey, what's Amy up to?
I always got something going on.
Exactly. So because I do the same thing, I got this idea, I got that idea. And, somebody will say, well, didn't you think about this before? When are you doing this? I said, oh, we're over here now. This is how we're going.
Yep.
So, and it's just,
you have to make adjustments.
you have to. And and sometimes it's an easy adjustment. Sometimes it's a painful one, but either way, they got to be done. And we're just continuing on and watching everybody in this community grow. And you're one of the great ones. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Todd. That was nice of you to say.
Well, I'm speaking from the heart here.
I appreciate you a lot, and I really support everything that you're doing. So
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you, as you're watching this show, to please hit like, hit follow, hit share, hit whatever it is that you can do there, because it's going to help get Amy's message out even further. And it also helps that algorithm understand that, hey, people want to see this and they want to see what's happening right here in our communities. And that's the way that you can help out. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's completely free. So thank you so much in advance for that. My name is Todd Studer, and we'll see you next time.